Hi everyone. In this video we're going to be talking about adding and subtracting rational expressions. So one thing to remember is that these are actually fractions, and because they're fractions we need to treat them like fractions. So we need common denominators before we can do anything else. Now in this first example, to get a common denominator, I'm going to take this denominator and I'm going to come over here and I'm going to multiply both the numerator and denominator by that value. Now, I need a common denominator over here as well, so I'm going to take this expression and go the other way. I'm going to multiply by x plus 2 over x plus 2 in this fraction right here. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm taking the denominators and getting a common denominator. Now, the numerators need to be multiplied together. So it's 3 times x plus 2, and I'm going to actually multiply that out. So I get 3x plus 6. And in the denominator, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do something very interesting. I'm going to make one big denominator because they're going to be the same. And when you add fractions, you add the numerators and keep the denominator. So I'm just going to go through that step right now as I'm simplifying this expression. Okay, so in that denominator, you would just multiply these guys together and you get this. Now I'll put the plus sign in between, and now I'll just multiply these together. Now a lot of times I will put parentheses around the second expression because just in case this is a minus sign, you'd want to know that this was grouped together so you don't accidentally miss a negative sign somewhere in there. So I'm going to multiply this. I get x times x is x squared, and x times negative 1 is minus x. Now, the last thing I need to do is combine some like terms in that numerator. So I have x squared, and 3x minus x is 2x, and plus 6. So those are my like terms. Now, the last thing that you should always check before saying that you're finally done is you want to check to see if this numerator can be factored. Because if it can, and if it can reduce with some of these down here, you would want to simplify that and reduce it out. In this case, it can't be factored and it can't be simplified, so this is my final answer. Now let's look at part B. In part B, I'm actually going to factor this because I think there are more common factors than I'm seeing. So I'm going to rewrite this expression so that I can see all of the factors in these denominators. So I have 1 over x plus 1 times x minus 1. And this was a difference of 2 squares. That's how I got this. Now for my other expression, I have 2 over x plus 1 times x plus 1. So when I'm getting those common denominators, I can ignore the terms that appear in both of these. So this x plus 1 is repeated there. So in this fraction, I just need an extra x plus 1. So I'm going to multiply by x plus 1 over x plus 1. And in this fraction, I just need this x minus 1 to show up. So I'm going to multiply by x minus 1 over x minus 1. Now I'll multiply through in the numerators. I get x plus 1 over, and notice again, I'm doing that large fraction bar and I'm going to put the other numerator up here. The denominators, I'm just going to write x plus 1, and x minus 1. Okay? Now up here I should distribute this, and I have this minus sign here, so I need to be careful. So minus in parentheses, I have 2x minus 2. Now the last thing I need to do is combine those like terms and then just check to see if I can simplify this. So I have x minus 2x is negative x. And 1 minus negative 2 is positive 3. And then my denominator, if I want to, I can combine those x plus 1s just to make it a little cleaner. It doesn't matter though because they really can't reduce out. Notice this can't be reduced because this is 3 minus x. That can't be factored really. So that's my final answer there. And that's it for adding and subtracting rational expressions.